All right, welcome to our Euro 2024 preview show. This time, our focus is on, of course, England. Currently, they are the bookies' favourite for the tournament, with France just behind.
Don't know why.
My question then is, should England rightly be favourites for this tournament? If so, why? And if not, why not? AJ.
Well, hello people. It's good to be back. Hello, mate. Listen, but I'm not here to miss me, you feel me?
Of course.
Wow. It's interesting, right? England are class. Number one, when we're looking at the bookies odds, we're looking at the bookies odds in the country. Yeah. It's always going to be... That's
a good
number one.
point to make.
But number two, I guess they are favourites because of what they've done in the last tournament. Mm-hmm. If we go off the back of that, they went into a final, you know, and they just missed out, really and truly. Yeah. So, of course, that puts them in the conversation of being able to win this Euro. Immediately, it does. The England squad is an interesting squad. I'll put it at that.
Yeah.
And of course, many people have question marks around Gareth Southgate, the way he plays, and how he wants to utilise certain players. And of course, the biggest question mark is around England's defensive frailties, is the way I'll put it lightly. For those who don't know what frailties is, FRA, go find out the rest. And so, rightly, should they be favourites? Yeah. I'd put them in there. Yeah, they should be favourites in terms of, you know, what they've done in the last tournament. You know, you're only as good as your last game, but in this respect, I say you're only as good as your last tournament. They were in the final. So should they be in amongst the favourites? 100%. I can understand someone's argument as to why not. Again, because of the squad, the fact that they've fallen short, and now, of course, when you look at the squads that are available at the Euros this year, a lot of the big hitters, as we like to call them, have very good squads, and they've all been in good form. You know, I was talking to someone the other day and they wrote off Holland completely. And I was like, be careful there, because Holland have a very good setup. And the way they're now playing and then the way their play's been orchestrated with one defensive fullback on one side and the other overlapping, and the width from the wingers and playing wing backs as wingers, and they're looking good. They're interchanging in midfield and up front. That's Holland. You look at Belgium, who suddenly this supposed golden generation, they've been pulling up a couple of trees recently, do you know what I mean? And Romelu Lukaku has been in incredible form for Belgium. And then you look at Portugal, you know, you can never write off the Portuguese. And with the way Senior Cristiano has been playing and the form he's in, you know, you can't write them off. You know, you look at France, an amazing squad, and then you can't look past Germany because you're on home soil. It's only England that will lose something on home soil, but Germans are a different breed. And I always say home advantage gives another level. But but should England be considered favourites based on the last tournament? 100%. Yeah.
Coach?
As I've said already, anything short of final,
it's a failure.
It's not acceptable. Think about it. You cannot be a nation who's going into a tournament with one of your players considered top 2 for Ballon d'Or.
That's a
neck
very
and neck.
good point.
If you're not ready for that pressure, you could have stayed. We all go play football at Wembley.
Right back.
Me, I'll be on the bench, man. My knee's still...
this guy. This knee since 1943.
You get what I'm saying? And so, I think that's just a given. You have, as I was mentioning as well, individuals in the team who are arguably some of the best in their positions in world football right now. And so you've run out of excuses. You see what I'm saying? You've run out of excuses. You've got to take that pressure that comes with being considered favourites and just run with it. Run with it. It might come a point, maybe the first half of a game, and it just seems like you guys don't look up to it at all. Just weather the storm, man. Get through it. Who knows? Sometimes you kick in. When what's their name? Spain won the World Cup in 2010. They weren't even doing anything for the first 3 games in the group stage or something like that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You just go, because sometimes it's just that pressure. It's just that pressure. Oh, how do we handle this? We've not been here before. How do we? But previous tournaments, England have progressively been getting better. Yeah. They've been getting better.
But without without the pressure, I feel this tournament is the most pressure a Southgate England team has been under.
I would agree.
I'd agree as well.
Because of the abundance of talent.
Yeah.
Bro, any manager in world football would love to have that England squad.
Yeah.
Any manager.
This is not a slight, yeah? We went to a tournament before. I think Euro 16 or maybe 8. Yeah, I think Euro 16.
Yeah.
And Ashley Young was our key player. We've got to a point where now we can drop Grealish and Rashford and still think we've got enough in there. Bro, you don't forget that too early.
I remember.
We had tournaments with Agbon Lahore.
Wait, was that
16?
16, yeah, all right. Oh my
I'm not joking.
But that squad was wild.
That squad was
wild.
And so you go to a point where now you look at the likes of Saka. You look at the likes Foden. How many goals did Foden score? How many goals did Cole Palmer score? And you can't sit here right now and be like Cole Palmer's in the starting lineup.
Yeah, facts. And that's the abundance of talent that you're talking about right there.
It's just too much. They've got the best striker in the world in Harry Kane.
Arguably, yeah.
Foden has been brilliant for City. Saka's been brilliant for Arsenal. You can argue compared to his other previous seasons, you expected more, but he's still been very good for them. You got Jude, Rice, another level. These new individuals that have stepped in now, like Wharton or whatnot, Mainu, however young he is.
There's still one guy you haven't mentioned.
Is there? Eze? Is that who you're thinking?
No. You.
Oh, forget it, man. We'll get to that later. Forget it. If he's not in the team, forget it. Who? Come on. You don't.
Dare somebody mention that name here.
Kyle Walker.
honestly, apart from the goalkeeper, because I don't think the goalkeeper we consider to be England's best is England's best. But out of all the goalkeepers, he plays the most, and he's been consistently like that for years. And so that's the difficult part. But I think you can make up for the other talents we've got everywhere. Again, the defense, I think it's a bit disjointed.
Yeah.
And so that might be a question mark. But if you go on the front foot, you want to have the ball and you want to take games to players, and you don't worry so much about, we need 2 pivots and we don't want to concede. And honestly, I think anything short of a final is very bad.
So I have a question. Yeah. So if England don't get to the final, is Southgate classed as a master of failure?
I think that would be unfair.
Really?
I think that would be unfair. I'll say this. So
when Mourinho called Wenger master of failure,
you'd have to say failure because they got to the final in the previous years. They got to the semi-finals, wherever it was, quarterfinals. Semi-finals, quarterfinals. But in 20 years' time, who's going to remember that?
No one is going to.
And I just want to add a caveat to what Will just said. And this is arguably the most talented squad England has produced in a very long time.
However, it will be the end of Southgate, but not so much of this England team, because these boys have still got years ahead.
That's what I said. But will he be classed as?
And I'll say no.
He wouldn't be classed as a failure.
No. Do you know why?
Because of where England have come from.
No one gave Southgate,
a
hope, or anticipated that he will get to a semi-final and a final. I don't care who. Even he himself wouldn't have thought that. Let's be honest.
Zealous self-belief.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's crazy.
No, think about it.
Yeah.
A semi-final and a final. I think he's done a lot. Before that, what was his pedigree really? Southgate coming into the job, right? So he's done well. And guys, let's not. I want to give him the credit where it's due, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that I can blast him for also. But it's not easy when you have talent. You think it's easy to manage.
Yeah, no, you got to be able to make it work.
We've had managers that have had even arguably bigger stars and absolutely done nothing with them.
Lampard, Gerrard.
Those can be considered failures.
You see, Donny's were playing Gerrard left wing, right wing. Oh my gosh.
But if this generation of players were to end like those guys,
massive failure.
There needs to be a strip down.
All the way down to grassroots.
They need to really
strip down, or just the FA just needs to make the right higher in terms of the manager? Because it's going to come down to that, really.
But can I say something, right? So when you say hire the right manager, what do you mean by that? Okay, let me ask you that. What do you mean by hire the right manager?
Someone who can take these talented
Who
players.
is that person, though? That's what I'm asking.
But that's what I'm saying.
So right now, when I say there needs to be a strip down, yeah, and he mentioned from grassroots to FA and whatnot, yeah.
But then why would there need to be a strip down if you were saying these are the most talented players we've ever had? Is it a mentality thing?
I think that's part of it. But I also say this. I know, yeah, hidden in your question is that they need to go and get a winner, right? Someone that has a style of philosophy and the way they want to play and they want stuff. And also, in that, part and parcel, you're thinking of a foreign manager. These teams, right? That
Never knew you became a mind reader. I'm like, okay.
but it's wow. Because it's not only him.
What am I thinking now?
Zero. You get my point, right?
Yeah.
And so, if we're having to rely on foreign managers to come in, which we've tried, doesn't work. But look at who won the last Euros? Italy. Who was the manager? An Italian or a foreign? Italian.
Yeah.
Previously, Portugal. Santos. Do you know anything about Santos? Do you know anything before or after him?
No.
The guy that won it.
It's because it wasn't him. It was
Let
Ronaldo.
me tell you something.
See,
And I think that's the point I'm making, that there needs to be a strip down.
Right. Okay.
Southgate's like the first English manager that we've had that's actually done decent.
Yeah.
He's done okay, guys, right? And so we need to identify and establish who will take over, and they have to be, the bloodline must be English.
The bloodline.
The bloodline must be
Sounds
English.
like WWE.
The bloodline must be English.
Sounds like Game of Thrones.
Bro, just
The
to put it out
bloodline.
there. Honestly, because if they can't, it's all well and good. Yes, we can get in, like previously, they wanted Arsene Wenger. Mourinho says he turned them down. You want to go for Pep Guardiola? Like, oh, that's all fair and good, but no. I feel like it means nothing for you as a nation if the person that won it from you was a foreign manager from somewhere. Oh, just think about it. The arena has credentials. Spanish, he won it with England. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your own thing.
And the thing is, if a foreign manager was to come in and win something with this English crop of talent, it'd be wild. That person will go down in history.
Of course he would.
And I don't think this sounds mad to say, but genuinely, I don't think there could be anything an England manager could do with England that would.
And I guess that's not what you want, is it?
Do you know what I mean? That would outdo that.
Yeah.
Because guys, look,
It's crazy
we go through seasons, right? What I mean by that is that we go through maybe not seasons, eras where this league is the best league. That manager or those kind of managers from a specific area or zone are the best managers. The EPL is a standout league currently, and it has been for a while. To be fair, they've been competing with Spain for a long time, and now they just left Spain behind. But
Champions League, last stages.
Here's the point I was going to make here. Even, right, the clubs or the managers that are leading the EPL are not English managers.
It's true.
You're not English managers. And so when I say strip down, we need to really identify that. I'm not saying don't let foreigners in. Let them in. Because I listen to the radio, they're trying to...
They let you in, innit?
In our elections, that's what they're talking about. Immigration.
What about education?
Exactly.
Pep Guardiola just changed it for Manchester, hasn't he?
Yep.
Hasn't he?
Yeah.
Simple.
In London, North London, who's there? Miguel doing it. Before, in Liverpool, was a German. So all these things,
these things play. And I think when you're talking about the strip down as well, it's not just like in regards to like player side, it's down to coaches and how you're bringing coaches through.
It's got nothing to do with the players because the players
it comes down to it's political because it even comes down to who they're accepting for the UEFA Bs and how much they're charging for UEFA Bs. I've had some conversations with a few coaches recently, and some of the things that are covered.
This will easily turn into a different.
I know. So let's keep it Europe. Let's keep it Europe because I've been doing some reaching. I'm heavily aggrieved. Heavily aggrieved.
That's it.
And all these things need to be looked at. So maybe if they do fail, it could elicit what we need to happen.
Yeah. And when I say failure, just to clarify, I think if this crop of players don't win a major tournament, strip it down. Strip it down.
So AJ, who would be your midfield and forward forward players.
Well, I can tell you something for free. I'm not playing that 3-5-2, 3-4-3 nonsense that Southgate has liked to play in the past. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I think he's transitioned from that.
Yeah, I hope so. He's had to. He's had to because with this talent, you can't have more defenders in your team than the attackers that we have available to us. In the midfield,
He would be a midfield three.
4-3-3.
Yeah, let's assume that he'll give him.
Gosh, it's so hard. So hard.
Got Bellingham, Rice, Gallagher, Mainu, Walton, Alexander Arnold.
This sounds crazy, right? I'd go. This sounds so wild. Gallagher, Rice, Bellingham.
I suppose the wild card is
Gallagher.
So,
But I'd put him in there because of his sheer work rate and ability to just get around the pitch and break things up. Declan isn't a 6. He can play the 6, but I don't think he's truly a 6, right? So then I'd play him and Jude, one right centre mid, the other left centre mid. I won't even put Jude in the 10 because I think it's not required. And then depending on how we're playing and how we're moving, I'll just bring Dec alongside Gallagher if need be, and then put Jude in the 10. Does that make sense?
Okay, so are you playing like a holding or 2 pivots?
A holding
Which will be Dec?
No.
To start with?
No, Gallagher to start with.
Interesting.
Dec, Bellingham. And then if it's not working, bring Gallagher, Rice in, and then Declan and Gallagher in, and then Bellingham in front of him. I just feel like with Gallagher, it'll give us a bit more robustness in there. I look at Kobe, I think he's great, but I don't think he's ready to start in a tournament like this just yet. I think he'll have a lot to offer. Maybe once people in the group are a bit comfortable, you can bring him in and blood him in. The other person I was thinking about was Wharton, sheerly because of his ability to play forward and break the lines and the way he does that so well. But again, you look at his age, he's just had a breakthrough season for Crystal Palace. It might be a bit too much. So he's another one I'd probably blood in. But that's the midfield 3 I'd go for. I think that would be I think it would work. Just in terms of personnel, je ne sais quoi, and yeah.
So before you move on to the forwards, coach, what would your
midfield 3?
Yeah.
Earlier on, I mentioned his name, and it wasn't just because I didn't think he was a phenomenal footballer, but he made a living out of it, so credit to him. But if you guys saw Gabi Agbanloho's team he put out, England's best, it's midfield 3, it's my midfield 3.
What's that midfield?
Inform us, please.
Dec, Trent, Jude.
I like that.
I can explain to you Trent.
No, I'm not even going to disagree. I like it. My only thing is that just because of what our defense is like,
what they're like.
What our defense is like right now, in terms of there's no experience. Oh, we all know if Maguire was in, it'll be him and Stones. They've played together enough times to have a partnership. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So then you slot Kyle Walker alongside them at right back. You have that, and then to be honest, whoever you play left back, I wouldn't mind because of just how solid those 3 are and the fact that those 3 and Pickford, there's an understanding. But because we don't have that, I'm a bit more cautious, and that's why I think Southgate will probably play a 3 at the back. By the way.
No, I don't think he would.
Wow.
Okay, let's see.
He shifted from that for since last year.
Let's see. Okay.
Last tournament.
Okay.
I mean, I think there are strong rumours that Trent is going to start in the
team. Well, the team was it was leaked.
Yeah.
An English journalist leaked the England team. My point where I wanted to land on was that. So for me with Trent, just defensively in midfield, I wouldn't be too comfortable just because of what that back four might look like. If it was Maguire, Stones, I'd play him in midfield. Because I'd have a bit more reassurance that these guys can defend and do what they need to do. But again, I haven't heard the way you would play him in this midfield 3, so.
You know, the thing you mentioned about Trent in his defensive thing, I also heard a great talent, English great, when Rooney mentioned it. I couldn't help but think, wait, shut up, man. I said to myself, shut up and focus on Plymouth.
Which is a crazy...
Get one of your managers' jobs right. Which is
a crazy job to take, by the way. Plymouth are down.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Look.
Go on, talk to me.
Play to your strengths. what am I saying? England, there's a directness to our game.
Yeah.
There's no one that can spring direct passes better than Trent.
Quicker than him.
When they lost to Iceland, he came on. His first pass was a ball that went for Tony. Could have got a penalty, depending on which referee on the day.
Yeah.
Could have given a penalty. And I was thinking, you can't keep that on the bench.
And that's the thing.
He can unlock doors from far back. So if it just meant that you don't trust him, you don't have the confidence that he should be going up and he can't come back for defending, play deep and whip balls in for us. Yeah? Create that for us.
What,
Saka,
you play him RCM?
Saka won't get those crosses in.
You play him RCM, right side of mid?
I think both him and Dek can be in there.
Oh, pivot, 2 pivots.
Yeah.
And Bellingham in front of them.
Of course, more so you want to give Dek the freedom to maybe operate on the left side. And Trent, if he wants to, on the right side. Well, that's one of the reasons why, right? And not only because last time we spoke about generational talent, you can't have Trent's quality and him be on the bench. It's just that simple. However way you want to work it. Even if it meant, even as crazy as this sound, right? Even if it meant he plays right back and Kyle Walker plays left back.
That's what I would do.
Even if it meant that.
That's what I would do.
Even if it meant that.
Sense.
That's what I would do.
You cannot keep Trent on the bench because no team in world football, no nation will have Trent and he will be on the bench. It's just a fact. Okay?
Have you got his number yet?
and then second thing, this is the point I'm making. If England doesn't shift, because this thing is a mentality thing, this thing about he can't defend, and I'm not only saying that because it's not only him. If Trent can't defend and you got Rice in there, who has been brilliant for Arsenal, screening the front,
screening and blocking the pass,
and if you've got Kyle Walker, who is this legendary right back, great at what he does. Stones, Gay, who I'm a big fan of, I think he's got great qualities. And you're playing either on the left side, you play Gomez or you play Trippier. They're some of the best defenders in world football. Let's not have one way about it. I'm talking about defending. You might not like Gomez as a player, but he's a very good defender. Saka will tell you about that. Right? So
okay.
Go watch season highlights.
We all know what he's been doing in his spare time.
But here's the point. It's very important, guys, because I think we've got to break from this mode. Because every time I had Calvin Phillips sit next to Declan Rice because we were scared of defending and stuff like that.
Oh, embarrassing.
Spain dominate world football. Barcelona dominate world football. Should I tell you who was their midfield? 3. And tell me if any of those 3 were known as being defenders.
Yeah. I think you made your point.
Yeah.
But
then going back to that,
from that. We're really you should have said that.
But then going back to that though, the philosophy of Spain was very different to. You think Southgate's gonna?
But that's my point. We have players here that are phenomenal. They can keep the ball.
They can keep the ball. Yeah.
They can keep the ball. I don't think Southgate has to say, "Oh, we're a ball-keeping team," or "We have to win the ball back in 3 seconds."
Yeah.
When you get the ball, use the ball. Is the point I'm making.
And keep the ball.
Use the ball.
Yeah, it's true.
When Trent has got the ball, let's get Jude making that direct run in there. He will find you. Saka, make the run. He will put the ball on top, over the top, get through. Listen, I don't really care about us. You look at the group stage, for example, right? If you're going to play safe, let's come on.
Let's go, yeah.
Let's come on. I'm honestly serious. And I said this last tournament, the trophy is not us to defend. We're not defending anything.
It's true. Got nothing to lose.
We're not attacking.
It's true.
You're not
even defending your final place.
And the way the tournament is set, it's like if you finish 3rd, you can still get through. So why not go there and attack and see?
All I'm saying to you, all I'm saying to you, they should just go wild.
Yeah,
really unleash the talent on them.
But I feel like
not in the hole.
If we're going to go down that way, isn't it? Go down,
And that's the thing. But I have this weird thing in my mind that Southgate's not on that.
Do you know why? It's not even crazy. Do you know what you're saying? It's not crazy.
And also, anyway, we'll move to the front 3 in a second. But that's also an interesting...
Yeah, you can transition into that. But I think...
So I was having this conversation the other day, and I would have taught Marcus Rashford. And everyone's, oh, you're crazy, But I would have taken him just for his maverick ability. His ability to just make something happen. His raw pace in behind. And the fact that he's been to tournaments. And I feel like he missed a trick not taking him. He hasn't had the best season. But for me, I would have took him as the gamble. Because yes, you've taken a few others. Because I watched Southgate's presser when he was talking about, he's taken a few gambles or taken a few wild cards. And I was like, I understand that. I get that. In fact, I endorse that. However, if we're really calling someone a wild card, that would be Marcus Rashford. Because right now, the right-hand side of the attack is Saka's.
Palmer can't step in there.
I don't think he's as effective there, though.
I'll give you guys someone presented a case about Palmer, and he was like, you can't put Palmer into a team that's not built around him. And I was like, why would you say that? And he was like, look at him at Chelsea. The team is actually designed for him. Mm-hmm. This England team will never be designed around someone.
Yeah. No, with the amount of talent, you just...
And so they made that, and I was
like with Foden, like trying to shoehorn him there, like you said, in the hole.
So that's an interesting one about Palmer, but we'll see as he develops and becomes more comfortable in England side. But right hand side we know it's Saka. Down the middle we know it's Kane. But that left hand side, everyone's gonna say slap Foden there. We know it's not his best position. But let's say we decide to switch it up, and we take off one of the midfielders. We put Bellingham further back. We put Foden in the hole. Who do you play on the left? That's going to give you that. Make something happen. No one should ever come to me and tell me Anthony Gordon. I don't want to hear that. He's got his attributes. I respect him as a player, but come on. So at the moment, it looks like it's... Yeah, and Eze could. But then Eze naturally will float inwards.
Yeah.
So, of course, my front three will have to be Saka, Foden, Kane, which is an incredible front three. But will we be able to get the best out of Phil Foden? Arguably, he is England's best player. Some will argue Jude. I'd say it's out of him and Jude, to be fair, in terms of, especially this season. I think one of those two. Now you look at it, one of them is going to have to be sacrificed in some way, shape, or form with where they will play, if that makes sense. If you put Foden on the left, he won't be as effective as he is in the hole.
But it's all about winning, mate. What about winning, isn't
it? These are the little... Do you know what I mean? These are the little things I'm like... do you know what I mean? You know, we know Saka's not 100% fit.
Yeah, that's it.
So my thing is, let's say, for example, if I know Saka's not 100% fit, as a manager, because he knows, why would you not bring Rashford? Play Foden on the right to be able to cut in and play in that pocket, and then keep Rashford on the touchline with chalk on his boots. Do you get it? Yeah. So so anyway, my front three: Foden, Saka, Kane.
Same
consensus.
Yeah.
I'll never play Foden in the hole for England.
For England.
Depending on who's starting. Do you know why?
So for me, if it's not Kane up front, I'd play him in the hole.
Okay. Because then... All right.
Do you know why I say that? Kane he likes to drop deep, come in and link the play. But if I've got someone of the ilk of, I don't know, like an old school Theo Walcott or Ollie Watkins who likes to run in behind,
then
you stretch the play and it gives him the space, Foden the space to dictate. Of course, we know he can dictate in a corner. You give him a corner of this room, he'll dictate play from there. But once you stretch it more, then he has more time and more, especially in this England team. It's not a Man City where there's different variations or combination of play and stuff like that. So some way, somehow he can still have influence. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So like you said, it depends on who plays up front.
Well, hear me out with why, especially with this personnel, I won't play Foden in the hole and I'll play my on the left. We know for sure whoever starts at left back is going to be right-footed.
Yeah.
And will be more defensive.
Mm-hmm. And Foden, if we are saying he's the talent that he is, he needs no shackles. I'll give him a free roll. Go and do whatever you want.
We can even interchange with Bellingham as well,
exactly.
Really.
We can sacrifice the left side.
Yeah.
The centre of the park, we can't do that. Right? We can't do that in the centre of the park. Be out there, link up, go back, come central, move around, be unhinged. Yeah? You're that masterpiece. Make things click for us. You're that great player that we all believe you are. Go and do that. In the hole, you need to be in the hole. Yes, he's good on the half turn, but guess what? He can just shift slightly to the left and still be on the half turn.
Yeah.
I want to give him that free roll. I don't want him to be like positioning he's locked into somewhere. And I think where that can happen in the team here, it's on the left. Give it to him. Go and do what you can do and show us what the whole world needs to see. And so that's why I play him in there. And you need, if Kane is going to be dropping, you need someone in the box.
And
no one else in England, exactly. No one else in England is going to be as clinical or chipping goals than Jude will. So if Harry drops, Jude is going to make that direct run.
And it's all about combinations.
You need to play to your strengths, both the quality of players and also what your nation is good at doing. We have a good mixture of direct football. Well, play that.
Take advantage.
I'm never going to say, the brand of football now is possession football with a 3 on overload in the midfield and let's keep the ball. No. I think you should still respect what you are as a nation 100%. And what you have as your strength. And especially if you've got someone that can knock balls to the tee. Yeah? Because I don't think there's anyone else in the English team that can do that. Deck don't hit long passes. You need someone that will create from distance. You only have one player that will do that. Players got to play. You got to have those 3. I think you got Saka with directness. You got Harry Kane who can drop, create, and score. And you got Foden, tight spaces, create, get in the box, or arrive late outside the box. Jude goes in, arrive late.
Again, this sounds amazing, but will Gareth think alongside these lines?
It's his best team.
It is.
It's his best team.
It is.
And then you've got players like Eze. I think he's going to be. I think. If he's the kind of player that I think he is, I think he's going to come there with his silky skills
100%.
and really lift the crowd in crucial moments. Yeah. So I hope his mentality is right. I think Cole Palmer, those are wild cards as well.
They
in
can
the
come
sense
and
of
make
the
a
brilliance
difference.
that they can come.
Yeah.
And just lastly, you mentioned sort of like the players that were dropped like Rashford, Grealish. I think there's an element of disrespect, right? To have those players contribute during the qualification, then get here and drop them when Wharton didn't play.
Bro, no. Someone said the other day, the French manager is the realest OG ever. Man just took his squad straight away. No frills, no games, no joking.
Yeah, you're right. He dropped some heavy
and he
guys,
dropped some heavy guys, yeah.
So I think
you should have done that from the get-go. If you're going to disrespect properly. But this one is a stringing along disrespect.
You see what I'm saying? Why would you, think about it this way. Why would you, all these years you've been here, take Maguire when people have been advising otherwise? And then now you go and drop him. Who is fitter and has played more than Luke Shaw, who's gone to the Euros?
Bless you.
Ooh, I'm allergic to what I said.
Oh my days.
You get what I mean, right? So, I think there's a slight disrespect. I think we've taken too many defenders. I would argue that. We've taken too many defenders. And even our best defender right now, people think is John Stones.
It's not.
He's a good player.
Ben White.
It's not.
Who's at the Euros? You can't even trust that guy. Let me make this point. John Stones will not play 90 minutes every single game of the tournament.
That's really my point. I was going to say, over the last 3 years, how many games has he played? How many games has he played every single last 3 years? I don't know.
As good of a footballer
I'm telling you,
you can't trust his fitness.
And tournament football, short turnaround time. He doesn't have the...
He will not play 90 minutes every game.
No.
He wouldn't. Who? Konsa?
I'll throw Gomez in there.
Gomez?
I'd probably say Konsa just because of how well Villa did, where they did it. He was
honestly, I want England to go out so wild. I'm talking about even to the point where, if you have to play Walker at centre back.
Yeah.
Listen, I know it's mad.
Take the safety off.
Crazy.
Take the safety off. Release the safety, cuz.
I've seen Spain. Even if you want, put Declan Rice there. I've seen Spain play Rodri at centre back.
Yeah.
We don't dare to dream. Yeah. We don't dare to dream. So it's fine.
Well,
give us our quarterfinals and we'll come on. We prepare for next season.
Release the shackles. Take off the safety, cuz.
You heard it from AJ.
Take off the safety.
So that does it for our Euro 2024 preview. Enjoy the tournament.
3 wise men will listen to. There's only 3 wise men will listen to. It's the front three. No, it's the front